There was once a boy who grew up in a poor family. He didn't go to school much, but loved reading and learning. He worked hard and faced many tough times. Later, this boy became one of the most famous leaders in America. This is the story of how he changed the country forever. The life of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809. He was born in a small cabin in Kentucky. His family was very poor. His father, Thomas Lincoln, worked as a farmer. His mother, Nancy Hanks Lincoln, helped take care of the family. Abraham was their second child. When Abraham was 7, his family moved to Indiana. They hoped for a better life. Indiana was a free state. There was no slavery. Life in Indiana was still hard for the Lincoln family. They had to work very hard just to survive. Abraham was 9 years old. His mother, Nancy, passed away. This was a very sad time for him and his family. Later, his father remarried. His new stepmother, Sarah Bush Johnston, was kind and loving. She encouraged Abraham to read and learn, even though he did not go to school very much. Abraham had only about 1 year of school, but Abraham loved to learn. He often borrowed books from neighbors. He read these books by the fireplace after he finished his daily chores. He especially loved stories about George Washington and other great leaders. As a young man, Lincoln moved to Illinois. He did many different jobs to support himself. He worked as a store worker, a woodcutter, and a mailman. During this time, Lincoln began studying law on his own. He wanted to become a lawyer. In 1832, at the age of 23, Lincoln ran for office for the first time. He tried to win a seat in the Illinois state legislature. He did not win this time, but he did not give up. 2 years later, he ran again and won. This was the start of his political career. Lincoln worked in the Illinois legislature for several terms. While he was a legislator, Lincoln continued to study law. He became a successful lawyer. He was known for being honest and fair. People began calling him Honest Abe. In 1842, Lincoln married Mary Todd. They had 4 sons, but only one of them lived to be an adult. Abraham was a loving father. His family was very important to him. Abraham also got involved in politics. He joined the Illinois state legislature and later the U.S. Congress. He was known for speaking against slavery. Slavery was common in the southern United States at that time. Abraham believed that all people should be free, no matter the color of their skin. In 1860, Abraham Lincoln was chosen as the 16th President of the United States. This was a very important time in American history. The country was split. In the northern states, slavery was not allowed. In the southern states, slavery was allowed. This split led to a terrible war called the Civil War, which started in 1861. President Lincoln worked very hard during the Civil War to unite the country. He made many difficult decisions, but he always believed ending slavery was the right thing. In 1863, he released the Emancipation Proclamation. This freed all slaves in the southern states. This was one of his biggest successes as president. The war ended in 1865. The northern states won. The United States stayed as one country. Abraham was very happy to see the war end. He hoped for peace and healing between the North and the South. Sadly, Abraham Lincoln's life ended too soon. On April 14, 1865, Lincoln went to Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. He was there to watch a play. During the play, a man named John Wilkes Booth came into the theater. Booth was an actor. He was born in 1838, and came from a famous family of actors. He was very popular in the theater world. But Booth did not like Abraham Lincoln. He was angry that slavery had ended. He was also upset that the South lost the war. Booth made a plan to hurt Lincoln. He knew Ford's theater well. He sneaked into Lincoln's private box and shot him. Then he jumped onto the stage but hurt his leg. He still managed to run away. Sadly, Lincoln died the next morning, on April 15th, 1865. Soldiers looked for Booth for 12 days. They found him hiding in a barn. When Booth refused to surrender, he was shot and died. Even after he died, people remember Abraham Lincoln. He is one of the greatest presidents of the United States. He showed how hard work and honesty are important. He did not have much money or education, but he worked hard to learn. He was called Honest Abe because he was fair. He helped free millions of slaves. He worked to keep the country together during its hardest time. He also showed the importance of doing what is right. Lincoln's story teaches us to always do what is right, treat others kindly, and never give up. These lessons can help us become better people.